Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to do a library review, and the library is Abbey Road 50s Drummer, okay? And before we start, let's just say don't forget to like and subscribe and click that notification button so that you're notified of new videos as they come out, okay? Without further ado, let's begin. I love how that hits. Okay, you can follow us over at Instagram, RTMA Studios. Give us a follow, we'll follow you back. You can message, we can have a chat, exchange tips, tricks, whatever, and generally network, and yeah, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. So Abbey Road 50s Drummer, I'm going to open up Contact. I'm using Reason Studios. For anybody who's completely new, you can watch the previous videos where I talk about Reason, why I love it, so on and so forth. Please comment if you disagree, if you think something's better, and let's agree to disagree. Reason is life. Only joking. If you like Logic or Pro Tools or Fruity Loops or what is it? Sorry, AFL Studio. Nah, still good. Okay, so 50 drummer. I'm going to select the Autumn kit. Yeah. And right here, I'll put it in the middle. We've got our kit. There we go. So the interface. You have the kit here. You can select any part of the kit that you want. It could be the cymbals, toms, kick drum, claps, triangle, woodblock, all that good stuff. Okay. When you select one, it'll obviously change to that, and then you can manipulate each one. You can tune it. You can, change the room mix, the overhead mix for that particular instrument if you think it sounds too roomy, too reverby, echoey, or whatever it is. You can play around with its settings. Also, I like the fact that you can tune these because if an element just doesn't fit in your mix, and you just want to tune it ever so slightly so that it sounds better, you can do that here. It's quite simple, and yeah, pretty straightforward. So the bottom here we have all these different colors. All right, and that will correspond. Let me just find C. Where is C0? Yep, there we go, C0. So I'm going to go through some of these sounds. You can have a listen, see what they sound like. We'll go through the sounds, talk about the mixer, the options, and then we'll go into the grooves. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So starting at oh, beautiful. Okay, so if you have a listen, using that one snare note. So obviously the samples are all layered up. So if you're really, really new to this kind of stuff, I believe what way it works is they have on each key, there are like lots and lots of different samples all stacked up, and essentially the library will choose a particular sample. Maybe if you're hitting the key soft, it's going to trigger a different sample compared to when you hit it harder. Okay, it's not just the volume going up, it's also different samples triggering. However, it's different cycles of samples, I believe. Again, I don't know the real back end, but I think the general idea is every time you hit the key, because it's not triggering exactly the same sample, it sounds more natural. It sounds quite nice, actually. Okay, as if you've got your very own session drummer just sitting there waiting, ready to go. So and there's 3 different snare types. I think, is this where, I'm not a drummer, but is this where the snare is something's unhooked underneath? I think it's like springs, and that's what that rattle is. It's the springs kind of loosely hitting off the underside of the snare, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, it sounds nice because they've done a lot of recordings, a lot of different layers are in these single keys that we're hitting, and it's just giving us that really, really nice, natural, really blended sound, regardless of how hard or how soft we're hitting it or what keys we're hitting. So just really, really nice sound. Well done at Abbey Road Studios. All your toms, and I think on these black keys, if I'm right, maybe the hi-hats. Yeah. Then we have, oh, I think these are all our hi-hats, or not hi-hats, cymbals and things. It's a whole octave, is it? Woo! Nice. Oh! It just sounds more meaty, doesn't it? Nice. Oh, I like that. I like that. Maybe flam or something. Ooh. Oh, yes. So I hit that really hard. If I hit it a bit softer. Actually, I really like that whenever you lift your finger off it. And it gives that wee hit. Off with his head. Oh, and I like this. See, this is a gem. For me, and what I do, at some point doing sound design or scoring for a short film or an animation, there might be a scene where, you know, a child or a character or something's hitting a snare drum, like a toy drum. And obviously, you know, there's a snare there, but that's like a real drum kit snare, you know, this kind of snare. It just sounds like a wee toy drum. I love it. Oh, that's nice. You know, so exploring your libraries, finding out the sounds that you have in these libraries, this is what it's for. It's not just what can I use in a song, what can I use in sound design, what can I remember, and then later on down the line, whether it's a week, a month, a year, 10 years, oh yes, I've got that sound that would fit perfectly for this scene. And you know, yeah, I really like that. I like it a lot. It's nice. Oh, so it's like thinner toms. It almost sounds like the opposite. It's not the opposite, but yeah, it almost sounds like the opposite. That's probably the wrong word. So what's happening here? If you're a drummer, if you know what's happening here, and you've got better words than me, better than opposite, what's happening? Pretty cool. Okay, go up. I think, yeah, I just went past the edge. I think I can't remember how right now to slide that over, but I think there's a few more sounds after this. Ooh, it's like a wee slidey noise. Nice. And there we go. So that's all the individual sounds. Again, remember you can manipulate each of the actual instruments and tweak that how you want it to sound. So if we jump to the mixer here. Now, I'll be honest, I don't use the mixer that much in any of these. I'll just be honest. First and foremost, I haven't felt the need to use it, and any kind of tweaks and changes that I have done through this has been things like the overheads, the width, that kind of stuff, maybe the panning and things. However, that being said, it's good to learn, especially if you do end up having this series of kits, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, modern drummer vintage. It's good to know because they all have mixers in it. I just haven't found the need myself to use it. In all honesty, these guys have spent so much time and money making this library sound so good, and it does sound good. There's been a lot of time, care, and love put into this that it's ready to go out of the box, and I wouldn't be afraid to say, provided it fits your mix, provided it fits your sound, you don't need to go in and change it. It's good to know, so you know how to change what you need to change in order to, get rid of sounds or things that you don't need, or to boost or add. However, you already probably know how to do that with your own effects units, or you're learning. This could just complicate, especially because it does go into some really good detail, individual snares, hi-hats, toms, you know. But all these settings, trust these experts. These are people that are genuinely experts in music production and sound and music, let alone this actual unit. And the settings that they have are pretty awesome. And it's, again, can't emphasize it enough. If you need to tweak in order that it fits your mix, that it sits in your track, then at least learn how to do that. But it's not something I personally have used so much. So I'm not really going to go into too much detail. Maybe tape, compressor, settings, there's a lot there under the hood, and transient master. Tape probably sound really nice. Maybe we'll go into the mixer. The best way to let you hear the mixer is when we get to the groove part, we can actually change some of these settings here through the presets. And maybe that'll give an example of if tape was in, on, and compression and the rest. You'll hear the sound of it, and then you can start to manipulate if you need to again. So options first, again, just general options overall. You've got the velocity curve for whenever how hard you're hitting it, the range and stuff, which is pretty useful. Your MIDI mapping with some default settings, or some different like IMAP, addictive drums, studio drummer, spirit drummer, easy drummer. So this might actually help with if you're using different units and stuff, it can match that to a degree. Which is pretty handy. Your kit view, randomizing things like volume, velocity, etc. Again, experiment, have fun with it, play around with it, see what works for you. And moving on then to grooves. Now, this is the other half, so to speak. Of course, it's enjoyable making up your own rhythms, your own grooves. Some people have way more experience in that than others. For me personally, I remember I asked the drummer why I find like making drum patterns so difficult, and why they just didn't sound good, even if I used quality libraries and sounds, whatever. And essentially, he was like, I feel embarrassed about this, but this is what it's about, right? Sharing. He was like, Rob, you're using like 5 or 6 different hits on the same column, but an actual drummer only has 2 arms and 2 legs. You know, it's like 4 at any one moment could be hit at the same time, unless you're using some type of device like, I don't know, what do you call it, double kick pedal or something or whatever. And even that might not hit at the same time. It's just for speed. But if there was a device that, you know, you hit something and 2 things happen, then more than 4. However, essentially, drummers don't play hitting all 4 appendages at the same time. So you're realistically looking at 3 things at most on the same column when you're drawing that. And it kind of like was a defining moment in learning about sound and music and production. It's like, that's why, you know. So don't get me wrong, sound and music's all about experimenting. If you think your 6 different hits on your drum kit on that same column, same time, sound great, and it's the sound that you're looking for your song and your mix, then it's right. You're not wrong. And I'm not saying that you're wrong if you realize certain things like I had realized with his drum. The idea is like you understand just a bit more of why things are generally done, or why things sit better if if certain rules are followed. But all those rules don't have to be followed, especially when you're being creative, you know. But in all fairness, if you're talking about being an artist and you're making your own songs that are just, you know, your art, and while yes, everything's art, even if you're making it for someone or whatever, there's definitely an expectation when you're making a particular track for a backing track for a film or a TV show or something, where it is kind of expected to conform to what people would class as normal. So, you know, it's good to know, but it's your choice to use, you know. And I think realizing that if I'm thinking about a drum kit and I want that authentic drum kit sound, that because I want that, that's going to define some of the rules that I should follow when making a drum kit, i.e., maybe having maximum amount 3 things stacked in the same column rather than 6 different things, you know. So yeah, it's something to think about. It's something to use when you need to, but again, don't be restricted, because anything goes. And yeah, just do it. So without further ado, enough rambling, let's get into the grooves. So the grooves, way it works is you can hit play at the top. Okay, cool thing about the groove is, I'll move this over for a second. In fact, I'll show you here. With the groove, you can take the groove itself and bring it into your sequencer. So the grooves are all .mid, which is MIDI, and MIDI are the notes. So if I just grab this, sorry, and you can see it's moved the pattern onto my sequencer. You can go in and then you can start to manipulate and move. And let's see that. So yeah, there's 2 in a column. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Is there any more? Can you see any that has 3? No. See what I mean? See what I mean, son? Oh. There you go. There's 3. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! But yeah, there you go. So it's just Something to think about. Anyway, so you can drag that into your sequencer, and you can create as many different patterns as you want. You can add, mix, use part of it, use all of it, whatever you need. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go through some of these. I'll not go through every single one of them, but we'll go through some of them to give you an overall feel for the library. And at some point I'll change the mixer so you can hear what the different like effects units and things and mixes are and what they sound like. So without further ado, let's start rock. Let's go for Dancing Rick. We Ricky. I'm gonna delete that just for now, and let's go number 1. Ready? And 166. I'm gonna change it to its naturally. What was the word? The intended BPM for it. Here we go. Nice. Oh, I like this one. Lips and hips. Lips and hips. Lips and hips. Now this has got to be. What do you think that would be like? Lips and hips. So it's 152. It's going to be. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine the toms being the hips and the wee taps being the lips. Ooh, like a pout. Yeah, I'm weird. Sorry. Okay, let's go for doo-wop. 140. Hold on. Oh, nice. We're going traditional pop. Let's go for love. 155. So I'll just change it here. It's more like a detective or something, isn't it? Or is that the trick? You're looking for love like a detective. Where is it? So I think got a good groove to it, doesn't it? Just love how different it sounds. Even though. So let's go soul funk. Boogaloo. Oh. JB Groove. Syncopated Ride. 128. Let's try that one. Got a syncopation. Oh, definitely odd, isn't it? Well, definitely soulful. And last, indie. Oh! Hold up. So each of these, they have 10 different MIDI sets inside. Is that right? Yeah. And they 10 of themselves. Yep. 10, 10, 10, 10. And then indie. Look at this. With that for bang for a buck. Disco Smooth. Let's try Disco Smooth. So, Disco Smooth. There we go. It's at 97. I like it at 128 there. That sounds nice. But what's its originally intended? Nice. Yeah, well, there you go. So pretty much there's a lot to explore there. There's a lot to really get into. Let's go for bouncer. And then we'll go through some of these mixer settings before we finish. So here we go. Wow, that is a big bounce, isn't it? Nice. Okay, so that's rock and roll. Let's go for blues. Traditional pop. Let's have a look at the mix and see what changes. Country. Got like a compressor came on there. A bit tighter. So yeah, the width is over there. Let's see that. Compressor's off on that one. EQ just. Vintage mono. Everything's muted, see. And I suppose what you could do is, if you really did want to play around with the mixer in this to get a more shaped, unique kind of mixer sound, you could use one of these as a springboard. Get close to what you want it to be, and then you can start to manipulate it, you know. You can contrast it. Why does that sound different from this, for example? And then you can start to see what they turned up, down, on, off, so on and so forth. Excuse me, sorry. I'm not going to edit anything. This is an organic, one and done video. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So as I said, I'm not getting paid for this. These were all purchased myself. These aren't, you know, I'm not getting anything for promoting it. I just wanted to kind of share these libraries with you guys and subsequent libraries so that you could obviously hear something before you buy it, see if it's for you or not. But also just to kind of think about these things and, you know, talk about some of the stuff I might have picked up and learned from over the years, like, you know, the whole how many hits can a drummer do at the same time kind of debacle. It's the same with a pianist. They've only got 10 fingers, you know. Doesn't mean you can't have 14 or 15 different notes on the same column, you know. But yeah, essentially, if you're going for a certain sound, you might have to follow certain rules to a degree, but never forget, it's art, it's fun, experiment, and yeah. So have a good one and see you in the next video. Bye.